Here's Ghost with a timer, because I noticed when you were racing, like it was like more of a photo finish. It was hard to get like a proper time. So see, it takes the best time when you cross 3.9. That Ghost's gonna go 3.9 seconds, and if you don't beat it, it stays 3.9. As you can see, so it's still the time to beat. But if you do beat it, then it changes. So now it's gonna cross in 1 second. It can be 1 second. 0.9. So that's that. Okay, so to make it, you need two variables. First, you need time and time pause from time. You need to expose those variables. And then you need to make, well, that's just to get, you need these two variables in the level blueprint for what I was doing. Because one updates the ghost that you're erasing and one updates the other. So I've got to explain, I got the timer from somebody else, and that counts off the time. And then for time pause from time, it's based on a trigger. So you can see that trigger right there, the green box. So, whoops. When they cross that, it's not. Okay, when they cross this green box, it updates time pause from time to be that faster time. So I've already explained how to get those two variables set up in previous videos, but the hard part was people were saying I needed those variables because you need to make a widget, just a timer widget, and then add it to the viewport so you can count down because you can get a countdown, right, of the two variables. But the hard part was, since they were in the level blueprint, everybody was like, you need an event dispatcher or a blueprint interface. And I was looking at them and I was using them, and I was kind of a little upset by them because I was like, I already have the variables. I don't want to do more work just to get them to show. So I just said, screw that. People were saying there's other ways to do it. You can push the variables that you already have out of the level blueprint into the widget. And the confusion was like, how do you do that? Well, a lot of people create their blueprint in like third person character, in the third person character blueprint. And that was kind of where the problem was. You need to actually create the widget. You need to create the widget inside the level blueprint itself, and then kick out then update the variables from the level blueprint into the countdown timers. So the way to do that is you get a widget with two text blocks and just scale it up to whatever size, and it just depends on your background, black or white, whatever color you're going to make the font. Go to binding, bind both of them. So create, it's where text is. Create a binding for both of them. And once you have a binding for both of them, go to the graph and make their variables public. I don't know if you need that or not, but it's just for precaution. So once both those variables are public, so you'll see in the tab, there's two get texts, and you just want to create two variables in here and just name them whatever. I just named mine time 2 and time 3. They're actually, one is, it's just what updates the thing. So, just get the variable, like I got time 2, and then make it to text, then just put it in their return node. It's pretty simple, honestly. And then the same thing here, take the other variable, put it into there, because these variables are what's going to update on screen. They're going to take the variables from the level blueprint and put it into, and then update it from there. So once you have those two variables made, so there's two variables for the widget and two variables for the level blueprint. And I just have all of mine set to public just in case I couldn't access them. I don't know if you need to, but that was just a precaution. So now that that's done, the tricky part is you need to go to here and then create new widget in the level blueprint. Create timer widget. Just select the class, add it to viewport as usual, and then from the return value, you can see all you have to do is just drag out the return value and get those two variables you made. So for me, it's time 2 and time 3. and then drag the two variables that you have for the countdown out, and then plug whichever ones you want into time 2 and time 3, and drag the return value and connect it. And then obviously the owning player has to be the player controller. And then once you have that set, there's another little tricky part that was happening. So you're gonna have to use a sequence for event tick in level blueprint. It's not that big a deal, because event tick is plugged into the counter originally. So just a sequence into the counter first, then 1 and then 2, then plug event tick into set time 3 and set time 2, and then you cannot plug event tick because it needs to constantly update your two variables from the widget, but it do not plug event tick into create timer widget, because I've done that and it's funny what happens. It just keeps creating the widget over and over again. So event tick only into these two, and then you need an event begin play to connect into timer widget. So event begin play goes to timer, event tick goes to your two variables, and then you can see depending on the event begin play, because it's level blueprint, or just because it's a blueprint in general, you have to go to sequence. Yeah, you sequence the event begin play, into create new widget. So event begin play goes into create new the widget, and don't do multiples. Or it's funny, it keeps updating it and it keeps blocking itself with like new numbers, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, event begin play into timer, so only creates the timer once, and event tick into your two variables, so it's constantly updating them. Then get the two variables from your level blueprint, and plug them into the variables from your widget, and it will show up on screen, which is pretty cool. An update and everything. It's pretty neat. Like I just was having trouble because it was always a photo finish. So now you know for sure if you win or not. It's kind of cool. And it just solves that huge issue. Now you don't have to mess with event dispatch or blueprint interface. When I was using them, I was so confused by them. It just seemed like a waste of time to do something that was already done. I was just like, well, it's already in the level blueprint, and sometimes it's easier just to mess with the level blueprint. And I really don't want to mess with this event dispatch or blueprint interface, because I couldn't understand them. I was like, what is this? You can't just call on it. You know what I mean? It wants to make you recreate what you just did. It just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like a waste. So let me see if I can take it to 0 seconds. No, it's only 0.1. If I counted it down less than 0.10, that's what I should do. I need to put 3. Yeah, don't put 0.10. Make it lower than that. Alright, that's it. If you have a photo finish race, for some reason it's about twice as slow as a regular second. I don't know if that's just Unreal Engine time or something. But I think it's slower than an actual second. But it still works for those photo finish times, so just put the delay and the duration 0.01 and 0.01 if you wanted to count down like that. Just have my timer set up so that if you press F or Android back or whatever, it sequences to just sets the time automatically to 0. Then it delays it 3 seconds, then the event tick enters a sequence and triggers the widget variable, you know what I mean? And then, but the first thing it does is opens the gate, and then the delay opens the gate. And then if you press it again, it closes the gate so it can reset and exits, and that's the time.